Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff and Merry Christmas. I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful Christmas day. I know I sure am. Even though I'm not recording this on Christmas, I already know that I'm going to be having a great Christmas. Today's been an interesting day too. Quick story. So originally, I wanted to go out to the higher country to film this video because I like to have snow in the background, and this has been a very dry winter. It's really sad. But so I'm out here in the Tusas Mountains, and I pulled up high to this high point above Hopewell Lake. And I was going to back out where you can see the Sangre de Cristos, the big snowy Rocky Mountains in the background. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful background. And then I got my ass stuck. I got stuck in the snow. Luckily, I'd seen down by the lake there were some ice fishers. So I ran down there on foot and got a couple of guys who came and helped me out of the snow. Interestingly enough, by the time we got back to my truck, there's some other people there spinning around in a different truck. They were also kind of stuck. They got out before we got my truck out. But the funny part about it, this is northern New Mexico for you, okay? One of the ice fishers, his dad and my uncle went to school together. His cousins went to school with my dad, and then I went to school with one of his cousins, right? You know, it's small town northern New Mexico. Well, after we get my truck pulled out, we get a tow cable on the back of my truck. They pull me out, and then they got stuck, and so I turned and pulled them out of the snowbank, and got them back on the road in turn. And by that time, the other folks had gone unstuck, and they came up to us. And one of the guys in the truck was the brother of someone that I graduated high school with, and he was in my sister's grade, and we knew each other pretty well. So that's small town New Mexico for you, right? You're not running into folks you know up in the mountains. We're all mountain people. Okay, so today's video is my Knife Awards 2023. This is 2024. Gosh dang it. Anyways, this is 2024. And this is always a fun video to make. Last year's video had a lot of different prizes. This year we don't have as many. And I'll be honest with you guys, I feel like I didn't review as many outstanding knives this year. There weren't as many things that I reviewed that kind of, how do I put this, stood out to me that much. But there are a few. We've got them here. And so we're going to quickly run through my Knife Awards. The other thing too is, to be honest, I kind of threw this together like last minute. Normally when I do these videos, I do a lot more research into like some of the stuff that I've reviewed. I normally keep better notes. This year's just been crazy. And I know that there have been a lot of excellent and amazing knives that have come out this year. But if they're not on this list, it's because I didn't review them. I don't review a whole lot of knives, right? And so I know 2024 was an amazing year, but I can only give awards to knives that I've actually handled. And I'm only giving awards to knives that I reviewed this year. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. Let's start off with a category that was pretty lacking, in my opinion, this year, and that's Best Fixed Blade. I didn't review a whole lot of fixed blades this year, but of the ones I did review, none of them stood out that much. We're going to be giving the award for Best Fixed Blade of the Year, though, to the QSP Canary XL. The review for this will be coming out next week. Or actually it'll be coming out this Friday. So keep an eye out for that. This is a cool knife in a lot of ways, but it's also a very plain, boring knife. It kind of wins by default. The only other knife that I would have considered putting in this position would be the Sadok EDC knife that I reviewed. But that one's a borrowed design, so in my mind that disqualifies it. So QSP Canary XL gets Fixed Blade of the Year 2024. Next up, let's go ahead and do Slip Joint of the Year. My favorite slip joint of the year. And that goes to the Swisstech Doppelt. This is a really, really cool knife. I love this knife, and it's super affordable, which is just kind of the cherry on top. Two really cool blades. The carbon fiber on this actually looks really, really good, especially for this price point. The blades performed really nicely. I really, really enjoyed carrying and using this knife. This is a knife that I still carry and enjoy even months and months after I reviewed it. So definitely a great knife. If you don't have one, you should get one. Okay, next up, best USA-made knife that I reviewed this year is going to go to the Spyderco Manix 2 XL. That was loaned in by Old Tonto Guy. Amazing knife. I absolutely loved carrying that thing. That was just such a good knife. Such a good knife. I don't have it with me right now, of course. I sent it back to him. But very, very cool knife. If you have not seen the review for that, you should definitely check it out. Alrighty. Okay, the next award is going to be Best Cheap Knife of the Year. You guys know we love cheap knives and getting in stuff. This is a separate category from Best Budget Knife of the Year, which we will get to later. But Best Cheap Knife. There was really two candidates that immediately came to mind. One of them, of course, everyone's favorite Ozark Trail Bug Out Killer. Is this the greatest knife ever? No, it's not. But I said from when I first reviewed it, and I'll say it till now, this thing is probably the best readily available $10 knife that you can get. The other contender, though, is this Craftsman compression lock knife. And I'm going to be giving the award to the Ozark Trail. And this was hard because technically I haven't reviewed this knife yet. I made a video about this knife this year, but I have not given it a full review, so I don't really feel like I can give it the award yet because I haven't even finished my testing and review. This knife is better with materials, and it looks like Ozark Trail is going to start. I think they did another run of these. I imagine this is going to be something that they'll continue to do into the future. So you are going to be able to get your hand on these, and I think that they're probably just going to get better and better as time goes on. So that's our cheap knife of the year for 2024. Ozark Trail unnamed Bug Out Killer. Next up, best hard use knife of the year. Now, this could have very easily gone to that Spyderco Manix, but I want to give it to a different knife. I want to give it to a knife that was new for this year, kind of, I guess. And hard use knife is now kind of synonymous with adventure knife. As you guys know, this year was the first year in the channel's history where I didn't work as a cowboy over the summer. And so I wasn't on the ranch, I wasn't out in the woods using my knives really hard through heavy-duty tasks like I have in the past. But I have been going on a lot of adventures recently. You know, a lot of camping, hiking, exploring. You know, you guys know what we do on this channel. We do all kinds of crazy stuff. And so I want a folding knife that is heavy-duty and robust for those kind of environments. And I think my favorite heavy-duty folding knife for 2024 is the Demko 80-20.5 spear point or slicer grind version. I think this is the best blade shape you can get the 20.5 in. This blade shape is now rolling into the Shark Cub and the Nano Shark that Demko's releasing. Those knives will hopefully be reviewed on this channel in 2025. I'm really, really interested in those. This knife itself is not new for this year, but I believe this blade shape, I think this was the first year that these were offered in the spear point blade. I could be wrong, but I tried double checking that and I think I'm right. But, you know, if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me below. But very, very cool knife and definitely a great heavy duty folding knife. It does folding knife things really well because it's, you know, it's not a tiny knife, but it's small enough to kind of, you know, be easy to carry, but you've got this really robust lock. This blade is slicey, but it's also robust and durable. This is a great outdoor, working, adventuring type of knife, and I really, really enjoyed it a whole lot. I've been promising to get new scales for it to replace these Ultem ones, and I'm meaning to do that, but I haven't got around to it yet, and I gotta say, I don't hate the Ultem. It's not my favorite, but I don't hate it enough to be like, I need to instantly change it before I carry this knife anymore. But there we go. Okay, let's get on to a couple of, I don't know, more obscure awards, I guess. First award is going to be Most Surprising Knife of the Year. I did this award last year, too. I'm going to bring it back. And I think I've shown this knife in a video before. It's been in some videos, but I don't know if I don't know. It hasn't been reviewed yet, but I'm going to give it the award anyways. And that's the Civivi Synergy 3. This is, at this point, kind of an older knife by Civivi standards. I mean, they release new things all the time. I bought this knife at Blade Show, and I was really impressed with it. And I got it for a great price. This was more than half off at Blade Show. So I bought it, and because I thought it was a good-looking knife. But the more I carried it, the more I used it, the more I fell in love with it. And I was surprised at how amazing this knife is. This thing is super, super underrated in my opinion. It's amazing. The ergos are good. The blade's great. The action is phenomenal. It's just a simple flipper, but oh my gosh, this knife is what flippers were supposed to be. It's simple in the best ways. I freaking love it. I did not expect to love it as much as I do, but this is one of my favorite knives that I handled all year. This is one of my new favorite additions to my permanent collection. It's that good, and I freaking love it. Next up, most underrated knife of the year. This one bothers me so much, but this knife is so good, and no one is talking about it. No one even knows this knife exists. That's the CJRB Fancy Feldspar. It's the button lock Feldspar with the Damascus blade and the steel handles. These go for like 90 bucks, I think. And guys, they are awesome. The review I made for this knife, no one watched. No one watched that video. And it's a shame because, guys, this thing is awesome. This might actually be the best version of the Feldspar ever. These scales are very reminiscent of the original Pyrite scales. You know, you got that thumb stud chamfer there. The button lock action is amazing. This thing makes great sounds. Great sounds. The Damascus pattern on this blade is gorgeous. I mean, look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. And it's got all the things that made the Feldspar great. Fantastic ergos. Great slicing profile. This thing is just incredible, but I feel like people just don't care about the Feldspar anymore. And that's a real shame. Anyways, if you have not got one of these, you should look into it at least. Uh-oh. You know those guys I was telling you about that helped me when I was stuck in the mud? They just drove by on the highway now. I guess they didn't make it any further in the mountains. And I turned around to come see if I'm okay. We'll see about this. Well, this is one of those guys I was talking about that helped pull me out of the snow when I got stuck like a dumbass out there. The rest of them are too camera shy to get on here. A little tipsy too.
This guy right here. Yeah. Hello. Isaiah Chavez from Espanola, New Mexico.
There we go.
Yeah, first day back in New Mexico. So
sweet.
Hey.
It's been a good day, huh?
Oh yeah, it's been a good day. You saw us fucking just going back and forth trying to go through that snow.
That's what you do. You go out in the mountains, you just fuck around.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. An eventful day, but.
And I guess you guys didn't make it no further, huh?
We turned around maybe a mile up.
We're gonna go cook.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're gonna go cook
Get some dinner
food.
going.
What you guys gonna make?
Some elk.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hell yeah. No, dude, awesome.
Hey,
Love what you're doing here, brother.
If you're Matt, you'll get a lot of likes.
Yeah?
This guy right here. Yeah.
Life of the party, huh?
Yep.
There we go.
Hell yeah, dude.
Well, good seeing you guys, and again, I mean, getting up to shenanigans in the mountains.
Oh yeah, always.
Oh yeah.
Always good for making friends, you know?
Yeah. Love
Hey,
what you're doing,
for sure.
brother.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
You guys
Hell
take
yeah.
care.
That's awesome, man.
For
Yeah.
sure, for
Later,
sure.
brother. Well,
Enjoy
thank
that elk.
Yeah, we will for sure.
Absolutely.
We'll see you. Just
Good
making
one.
sure you were good.
Oh, this is going to be a wild video. Oh, tell you what, it's good coming home. Oh, fuck it, coming back. Fuck yeah! Oh shit, they got... I ain't gonna tell them about that. They'll figure it out. Yeah, there it goes. Couple of them boys are way too drunk for their own good. They dropped something. What an an interesting video this is turning out to be. Merry Christmas, guys. I hope you're having fun. Oh, where were we? Pretty sure this version of the Pyrite was new for this year. It's a great version. You should definitely consider getting one if you have not yet. Ah, damn. Okay, moving on. Best performer of the year is a really surprising one. We're giving that to the Steel Will Sedge. This was donated to the channel by Old Tonto Guy, and I decided to keep this little knife because I freaking love the way this thing cuts. Full flat ground blade, stupid thin, and just nasty, nasty slicer, poker. The ergos on this handle, they just grab your hand in such a nice way, keeps the blade always pointed at something that you want to cut. It's just, this knife here, if you have not seen the full review on this knife, it cuts like a champ. This thing is an absolutely amazing performer. Probably one of the sliciest, pokiest knives in my collection. This thing is really, really cool. And I'm pretty sure these are discontinued. I don't even know if Steel Will as a company is a thing anymore, but you can still get these, and they're really freaking good. Okay, now we're coming to... Actually, we'll have one more award. We'll give one more award. Most fidgety knife of the year. I'm going to give that to the Kizer Budget Militaw. This thing has just a ridiculous action. The blade hole, whether you're thumb flicking or reverse flicking, this thing just works so nicely. Yeah, this thing... Look at that drop. Ooh, damn, son. That thing drops. Very, very fun knife to play with. Great action. I guess most fidgety can also be in the same category as like best action, but you know, front flipper, which I'm typically not a fan of front flippers, but this one, I say as I fail it, this one is really easy to flip and manipulate. I really, really like this one. If you're not a front flipper person, this might be a good knife to get because the blade hole works so well, you never have to use a front flipper if you don't want to. But if you want to maybe practice your front flipping, getting more comfortable with that, this knife is going to be a great practice item. Okay, now we're getting into the big awards. Best budget knife of the year. Best new budget knife of the year. So these last two categories, it has to be a knife that's new for 2024. And the best new budget knife is a CJRB Pyrite Light. And this kind of walks away with the prize almost uncontested. This thing, the price is right. These are under 30 bucks. Great design, great action, great performer. And it feels a lot more expensive than that price would have you believe. I absolutely love this knife. This thing is so much fun to use. This is a knife that I was taking out on a lot of my adventures as well. You can see how dirty and gunky this thing is. It's just, yeah, this guy's been all over the place. Love this knife. Absolutely fantastic knife. The only thing that was kind of giving this knife a run for its money is actually the Civivi Zizzle, which came in that Walmart holiday gift pack you could buy for like 30 bucks. But the reason I didn't give it to that knife is I'm not sure if that knife is going to be available forever. I've heard rumors that Civivi is going to start making that a regularly available model, but I don't know if it's going to change in any way. So because there's all that uncertainty, the CJRB Pyrite Light pretty much takes the cake uncontested. All right. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. Give me a drum roll. The best knife of 2024, according to yours truly. The best new knife of 2024. There's a couple of contestants. Number one, the Demko 8020.5. I considered, as it was in the running for this award, but only the blade shape is new, so, I don't really think that qualifies it to be the best new knife of the year. Another one that was in the running was the one we just talked about, the CJRB Pyrite Light. However, Because this knife is getting the best budget knife award, I'm going to take it out of the running, and it gets best in class in its own category. So we're just going to leave that there. And that brings us down to 4 knives that might get this title. The first one is a Kizer Budget Militaw. This is a very, very cool knife. I do enjoy this knife. I did not expect to like this knife as much as I do. I really love this knife. But it's not going to get the award because it's technically a new variation of a model that's been around since at least last year. I think last year was when the Militaw came out. So even though the budget version is new for this year, I don't feel good about giving this the Knife of the Year award. And the other thing is there are some things about this knife that I don't like. I wish the clipper was reversible. The plunge grind sucks. There's a couple of things like that. So it's not going to get the award. All right, that brings us down to our final 3, and they all have something in common. First one, and this one is going to get like 3rd place runner-up, Kershaw Mini Iridium. I love this knife. You have not seen a review for this knife yet, but I've made a couple videos about this knife. It will be the first review you see in 2024. I've actually got some rust on this guy because I've been carrying him so much. I need to clean that up. But the review for this will be the first review in 2025. I cannot get my dates right today. Cool knife. Very, very cool knife. I'm very impressed with this knife. There's a couple things that are keeping it at the number 3 spot. Number 1, I do think I'd like the larger version more. This one is fine, but it is a little bit awkward in the hand. Not uncomfortable, but a little awkward in the hand. So I'm not going to give it the prize there. And the other thing is because I have not yet reviewed this knife technically in 2024. So it's not going to get the prize. But this is an excellent, excellent knife. So that brings us to our final 2. The CJRB Shale, which I absolutely love, and the QSP Vault. Now, it's interesting that these knives all have crossbar locks. That's kind of cool. That's something I've been into this year. The QSP Vault, for a long time, I was saying this was going to be my knife of the year. And it's a very good knife. This thing is awesome. I love the build quality on this knife. This is a really, really great knife. Ergos are fantastic. The blade is fantastic. The action is probably the best crossbar lock action I've ever felt. The fit and finish is top notch. This is an amazing knife. But I'm going to give it 2nd place. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying that. It's going to get 2nd place. And there's a couple of reasons. Number 1, I don't really like the choil here. You guys know I'm kind of anti-choil now. I don't really like the choil here. But number 2, the price. This guy is, maybe a little bit overpriced. I don't think it's overpriced because the fit and finish is really, really good. And the price is not terrible. These go for about $80. I got mine on sale for $65, which is a great price. But it's really hard to not give this knife of the year, but I think it's going to be 2nd place. Which, of course, means that our 2024 knife of the year is the CJRB Shale. And there's a lot of things. Number 1, the ergos on this knife are fantastic. The blade is fantastic. This thing is an amazing performer. I feel like the knife is very smartly designed. The handle and the blade complement each other so perfectly. You can get a lot of control of the blade without having to use a finger choil. The steel holds up good. I like AR RPM 9. The price is right. These handles with a little grippiness here, I really, really enjoy. And really, this knife is just fantastic. It's just really, really good. And I considered giving the QSP Vault knife of the year and making this like best buy of the year, best, value of the year, something like that. But I decided that whatever knife I recommend as the best buy of the year should probably be my knife of the year. And so this is going to be the Gideon Stuff 2024 knife of the year, CJRB Shale. If you have not seen the review for this, it came out last week. So go watch that. It also doesn't hurt that this knife has a geology-themed name. So, yeah, there we go. And there you have it, guys. That is the Gideon Stuff 2024 Knife Awards. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a fantastic year. Again, I feel like I didn't review... I reviewed some really great knives, so some awesome knives, but I feel like I kind of missed out on some of the really cool things that were happening in the industry this year. We're going to try and catch up on that going into 2025. I want to bring you guys a lot of really, really great content in the new year. It's going to be really good. But I'm not going to waste any more of your guys' Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for watching. Big shout out to my channel members right here. I appreciate everything they do. If you want to become a channel member and support the channel directly, there's a button down below. As for the rest of you, if you enjoy the video, leave it a like, comment below, and subscribe. I've been Gideon, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.